Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Race for the Galaxy. Race for the Galaxy is a real-life card game, sort of these board gamey, card gamey kind of style games, that does have a digital version. However, unlike some of the other titles I've looked at before, this does not seem to have a PC version out yet. Hopefully, there's one in development, I have no idea, but currently it's only available for mobile devices, and I am actually running this on my phone, my Android phone. However, I have a program that allows me to mirror my phone over to my PC and use with my mouse and stuff like that, so that's what I'm recording here. I know I don't normally just cover mobile games, but this is very much, I think, within our wheelhouse, so it's going to be excellent for that. Also, as an old man with old man eyes, I really appreciate being able to play this on a bigger screen. I don't have a tablet, so I only have my, my teeny tiny little phone, and sometimes it's hard to squint at things, especially for a new game where I don't know what all the cards go. So I've actually been really enjoying it, playing it, mirrored onto my PC like this. So, Race for the Galaxy is a game. We're going to just start in here. Easy, easy, easy. Start. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Race for the Galaxy is a card game where you are building up some sort of space empire, I suppose, with cards. At the end of the game, the person with the most victory points wins. You can keep track of your current victory point total because that's what these hexes are. So this is me down here. So I have 1 victory point currently. And the reason for that is we all start with a home world or a starting planet. In which case, I'm going to be playing as New Sparta this time, which is quite interesting. The game will end when any player has 12 or more cards in play, or when this pool of victory point tokens is expired. It is worth noting you don't get screwed if this runs out when you still have something that you can do that will earn victory points. The game only ends at the end of the round. One of those conditions is met. And if for some reason you're supposed to earn victory points, you can still grab more victory points out of the bank. It's just that the game will end on that particular turn. So we're all drawing from a common pool of cards. I think there's something like 100 or so. I guess it's 105 cards in the normal deck over here that we're going to be grabbing from. There's a good chance there's going to be a lot of discarding because you pay for everything basically with discards. And as a result, there's a good chance the deck will get, refreshed maybe as you play. At the start of the game, we're going to draw 6 cards here. We got to discard 2 right away. There are 2 different types of cards that you are going to be drawing, although they're kind of same-ish. There are planets. Planets are identified by a circle in the top left corner, and there are development cards. These have the diamonds in the top left corner. But other than that, they work pretty similarly. The number in the circle, or the diamond, is the cost to build this, or settle this world, or build this development, or however you want to say it. In the hex over here, this is the victory points that you get for just simply having this card in play, period. But in addition to that, there are going to be many effects for the different phases of each round. There are 5 phases in each round. However, you will, literally never do every single phase in every single round because of a very interesting mechanic where each player sort of decides which phase will kind of happen. We're going to look at that in a moment. Many of the cards will do something in one of the phases in some way. It's worth noting that all of the planets with a colored-in circle are known as production worlds. They are guaranteed in Phase 5, which is the production phase, they are guaranteed to produce a good. There are 4 different types of good. They are colored differently. They also have a name. So the blue ones are novelty goods over here. Hey, the spice must flow. Yeah, so that's that. The development work very, very similarly. They have that, the cost, they have victory points, and they tend to do something in play. There is one gotcha here in terms of the military, which we're going to have to address right away because we are New Sparta, so we are getting a military rating over here. Some planets, instead of having a black border around their number, and having the number written in black, some of them will be in red. Those are military worlds where to colonize those, you don't colonize them, you conquer them with military points. So normally the way you pay for a planet or for a development is by discarding cards. Cards are your currency in this game. So to colonize, expanding colony here, I would play this and discard 1 card to do it. However, if it were a military world, instead of discarding, I would simply have to have blank amount of military in play. I get to start with, see here, this is a good example of, this would be an example of a planet that would cost military to play if we hadn't started with this. But it's also giving me +2 military rating, which is quite nice. The Blaster Gem Mines would also give me +1 military over here. This does not have a filled-in colored circle, so it does not produce a good. on phase 5. However, because it's got this colored halo instead, this is called a windfall planet. This will come into play with 1 good. So this will come into play. I think that's a rare element. I don't really remember what each one of the colors are, but there we have it. So I got to discard a couple things, and at this point I have to sort of pick out what my strategy might be. So what do I want to keep? And what I might want to play early. I might want to start with, like, just ramping up my military. This will help me place alien worlds with the alien keyword, a lot easier and a lot cheaper. We don't have any others in play, but we can dig pretty deeply on our turn. Galactic Federation, all the developments with a value of 6 have a variable victory cost. In the real-life version, there would be a question mark in this victory point over here. But it's worth these victory points over here. So Galactic Federation is worth 2 victory points for 6 cost development, and 1 victory point for each other development over here. This would count itself, so it would be worth at least 2. If I were to play it right now, it'd be worth 2. It also makes future development cheaper. It might be good, actually. What if we just tried to get the Galactic Federation in on turn 1, and just spammed out development cards? It's a strategy. So we're going to keep you in play. I'm going to discard the alien world over here. And I'm going to discard the expanding colony over there, because it's not a producing world. Okay, so we're going to hit OK here. We're going to do that. So my opponents are doing exactly the same thing. They're discarding some cards. Discards are face down, so we don't know what they're getting rid of or whatever. What is your home world? Alpha Centauri. Ah, so you can place Rare Elements World, these sort of peachy colored resources, for cheaper. All right, fair enough. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to choose an action. So I said there are 5 phases to each round. However, you actually get 7 in real-life version. You get 7 cards handed to you to choose which action you are going to perform this round. And that determines which of these phases actually occurs, which is kind of interesting. So it depends on what players choose. For example, if for some weird reason every single person chooses the Explore phase, like one of these 2 variants of the Explore, doesn't matter which one, then only the Explore phase will happen, which is bizarre. If let's say I choose Explore, and everyone else, or whatever a combination, they choose Settle over here, which is phase 3. Phase 3 happens. I can take an action on phase 3. It's perfectly fine. Every phase that happens for everyone. But the people who choose a specific phase card get a bonus of some kind. So, for example, for the Explore phase, the normal behavior is to draw 2 cards and discard 1. But if I pick this first one, I draw an extra 5 cards. I still discard down to 1 from those, but I get to look a lot deeper, which can help if you've got a very specific strategy. The other variant here is draw an extra card, so I draw 3 instead of 2, but I get to keep an extra one, which might be tempting. If I choose development, then I can develop for 1 less, which is very nice. However, 1 less would still make this cost 5, and I don't have enough cards for that. So I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to take this variant of Explore on the first turn. It'll guarantee us a few more cards in hand, and then next phase we'll be able to drop down the Galactic Federation maybe, and just get that rolling. So that's one I'm going to play. So, we actually got a completely spread out mix of stuff over here. You can actually see what everyone has played as their action. So we're going to have phase 1, 2, 4, and 5. We are not going to have a phase 3. Because no one picked colonization. It's actually quite rare that everyone picks something completely different. So I drew, because I took the special action here, I drew 3 cards. I can discard 1. So again, I could combo with lots of development. The thing is, these developments, I'm going to get a -2 discount. These only cost 1, so saving these doesn't really help very much. New military tactics is interesting. You can use it to... There we go, double click. You can use it to trash itself. So it trashes itself to gain +3 military for 1 turn. But I'm not interested in that. I'm going to have plenty of military, so that's going to be okay. So I'm going to say okay there. Now, interesting, we are having the development phase here. Again, I can't play Galactic Federation because I didn't pick this. I don't get the discount. I would have to discard 6 cards to do that. I can't. I don't want to. I could play dropships, which would give me +3 military. I could play Public Works, which is kind of neat because it combos very well with development phase in that it lets you draw an extra card after placing a development. You can also discard goods to gain victory points if you start producing goods. I would love to like start dropping. I would love to put down Public Works, but I'm gonna have to play it and discard something else. And again, I really want to get the Galactic Federation down because it'll let me start building development much, much cheaper, although drawing a card. I'm just going to pass completely this turn. Not convinced that this is the right play, but you can see what everyone else is playing over here. Oh, Colony Ship is interesting. It's another one of those sacrifice itself cards, but it lets you play one colony for free. So it's the next round. I have to choose an action. I'm going to choose Develop so that I can develop for one cheaper. I would be perfectly happy if someone played one of the Explore cards so that we got a draw. No, all three of them chose the Consume phase, which is kind of interesting. All right. So I'm going to put down the Galactic Federation. It will require that I discard absolutely everything, including Public Works, which would sort of combo nicely with a development-heavy strategy, but that's going to be all right. We're going to do that. So during the Consume phase, if I had any goods on, I could sacrifice one of them. Oh, no, sorry. If you pick the Consume phase, if you pick this one over here. So there's two actions that happen during the Consume phase, which is phase 4. I don't know why they put a $sign here. It's a little bit weird, but it's to emphasize. If you pick this one, you can trash one good that you have in play to draw cards based on the type of good. If you pick this one over here, it just means when you activate your Consume powers that give you victory points, you get twice as many, which is very strong, don't get me wrong. I don't have any cards in hand, and I think I'm just wanting to pad them out, so I'm going to go ahead with this over here. So I'll end up with 2 cards in hand. And this is actually very handy. Now, you can never have 2 copies of the same thing in play, so having 2 Interstellar Banks isn't handy. They're all costing 2, which will be free for me, which is great. So I'm just going to trash 1 Interstellar Bank over here and hit OK. Someone else picked the development phase. I didn't, so I don't get a discount, but this thing minus 2 development cost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Interstellar Bank because it gives me a free card draw at the start of phase 2. Very much like that other trade depot. So that's going to help my phase 2 a lot. And I might be able to like keep working that because I want phase 2 to happen every time because I'll get the draw. Deficit spending can discard up to 2 cards to gain 1 victory point, which these cannot be doubled. Still, I'm going to choose the development phase here because I think there's... Oops, don't do that. Because I want to guarantee there's the development phase. If we got lucky, we might have picked up something that cost 3, which we would have been able to play for free, or something that cost 4, that's a development. This is not a development, this is a planet. And I would have been able to handle that because I would have gotten -1 from choosing this phase, -2 from the Interstellar Bank. So I'll just put down the deficit spending, which is going to cost me nothing because of my discounts. Someone else played the Public Work. But after this, did I not get to draw one from this? Was that the start of the phase? It is the start of the phase, right? So I've already done that. Now, I can choose to activate this. We're in the consumption phase. Someone played that. I can choose to activate this consumption power, which is discard 2 cards to gain 1 victory point. I don't have 2 victory cards, so I'm just going to pass. There's no point in triggering that. New round. So I don't have anything, including no development here. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this variant of the Explore. So I'm going to get to look at a total of 7 cards and keep 1. 7 cards and keep 1. So I want to try to find stuff that sort of fits in. This Rebel Outpost is worth a ton of points. It would take 5 military to conquer, which I'm not set up for. I could take the Alien Robot Sentry, which does nothing. Well, it's a windfall planet, so it actually will give me access to 1 yellow goods, which is the one that gets discarded for the most card draw, which is very nice. And I do have the military to conquer that right away. And of course, it's worth 2 points, so that's not too bad. Or we can go with more development over here. Draw 2 cards if you produce more rare goods than any other player. We don't really do that. This is all like rare goods combo type stuff. I think we're going to keep the Alien Robot Sentry because someone has played the Colonize phase and we have enough military to take that. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and discard 6 cards. You can see like we burned through this deck really fast. I'm going to hit OK. So now we're going to go into phase 3 Colonize. And I can colonize. Because it's a military world, I don't have to discard anything from my hand because I have enough military over here. This is a windfall world because it had that halo, so that comes into play right away, which is nice. I'm not going to activate my consume power. I'm going to pass. Then the production phase, which does nothing for me. I'm going to go and I'm going to use this power over here, which will let me sack 1 good to draw cards. And this one will let me draw 5 cards. So I really want that to happen. There we go. We weren't able to colonize, so we're just skipping that. I'm going to trash this for 5 cards that I just get to hold on to. I could activate my deficit spending at this point to gain some victory points. Might not be a terrible idea. This is interesting. These are all free. This you can trigger this, discard all goods to gain victory points equal -1. Refugee World actually gives me -1 military, but it's free. Pilgrim World is sort of... You do get to choose what order you do consumption powers in, so it's not too bad. Here's another thing worth 6 development, which I would like to play. You know what? I don't think I'm going to use my consume. I'm going to pass. Free Trade Association isn't that helpful for us. It's worth 0 victory points right now because we don't have any novelty production worlds. However, it would make Galactic Federation worth 2 extra points, right? 2 for every 6 development. Right now it's worth 4 because I've got itself plus 2 other ones that are not 6. So I think we're going to choose the development phase. We're going to get to draw a card for free at the start of that, which is always nice. And I'm going to put down the Free Trade Association, which we get. We're only going to have to spend 3 to grab this thing because of all our discounts. I'm going to get rid of Refugee World. We're going to keep New Vineland here because it is a novelty good production center, and Free Trade Association gets bonus victory points for that. So we're going to want that. I'm going to get rid of Tourist World over here. Yeah, we don't need that. Now, I think I want to keep Genetic Labs because I want to have the option of playing something that's worth victory points. So I'm going to toss Pilgrim World because if we get an opportunity to colonize, and we will this turn, I can play either one of these this turn. Actually, I'd really like to play New Vineland, which I would be able to do. So, I mean, I'm definitely discarding this. Ooh, terraforming robots. Who are we at? 11 victory points. This guy's got 12, 13. But we should get a few playing this. Now, I can settle a world, and I have to decide which one to do. Aquatic Uplift Race over here, I would get to play for free. Well, because I've got the military, so I don't have to discard any cards. With New Vineland, I would have to discard the other 2 cards in my hand. However, this would be worth 2 victory points from the Free Trade Association. So there's effectively a 3-point play, as opposed to this one, which is a 2-point play, but leaves more cards in my hand. I think I'm just going to play the Aquatic Uplift Race. Okay. The one thing that might change it up is there is going to be a production phase this turn, so New Vineland would also get a good on it this turn. No, I'm just going to play this, and I'll save it for a future turn. And this was a windfall planet, so I get that good right away. I don't want to trigger my consumption powers. I may want to do this so I can trash this for a ton of cards, and I think that's what I'm going to do. The only time you get to trade goods for cards is if you pick that, so you can't sort of count on your opponent doing that for you. I have to discard a card. We're not going to get a development this phase. I want another 6-pointer because it combos well. VP equal to total military count. What? That we might be able to work with. Consumer markets, draw 1 card for each novelty good produced this phase. Oh, that's very nice too. No, I'm just going to trash this. And now we're going to go into the consumption phase. I'm going to trash this for 4 cards. We are... Is there a count for, like, total number of cards in play? Okay, so these are their cards in play. So they've got 5. Okay, and we've got lots of victory points here. So the game's not just about to end, so I'm not going to do the discard stuff. I can get more points from just continuing to play. What I really want is I want there to be a development phase this turn. And it'll be nice to get a slightly bigger discount. Yeah, no one else picked it. So you are taking the twice as many victory points from taking a consumption action. So that's actually going to be really nice. I'm going to discard... I'm going to discard Mining World, because actually we would like more of these blue producers if we can, although I don't think things are going to happen here. We're going to play New Galactic Order. And... what's this one? Oh, produce a novelty card and draw a card. Be nice to have that in play now. And we're going to get rid of Tourist World. Mining Conglomerate, we're not actually going to trigger properly. And I guess we'll get rid of the Genetics Lab. And the Galactic Survey is what? VP for every development with an Explore power. Which this is the only one. Oh, and then some more. So, okay, this would be worth 4 victory points. And actually 6 victory points because of it's a development card that's worth 6. So it combos with our other one. More victory points are accruing over here. Choose a consume power. No. We get a production phase. Is it only people who played the production that get it? No, that's right. If you choose production, then you get one on your Windfall Worlds. Oh, I don't actually have any regular production. Haha! That's true. Okay. So choose my action this round. I'm going to choose Develop. Because this is going to be a big play. Draw the card, get all the discounts, play Galactic Survey Set, which is going to be worth a lot of points. I got to trash 3 cards. You... I don't think there's any reason to keep Artist Colony, but I can have Secluded World. They're all with the same victory points. I won't be able to play something worth 2 this turn, so I'm just going to keep Secluded World. I'll get rid of New Vineland. Press OK. I want to settle Secluded World, discarding Gem World. Press OK again. I'm up to 25 victory points. I'm out of cards, which is a little bit awkward. There's going to be a consumption phase here, which I can't do anything with, because I've got nothing I can discard. I've got nothing in play. So... do I want to take a consumption action? That'll put a good on Secluded World, and I can add a good to one of my Windfall planets, which then I could trash the next turn. I don't know if that's particularly helpful. Galactic Survey Set lets me look at 2 extra cards. I still only get to keep... well, if I take this action, I would keep 2. This might be more worthwhile. I don't really have a whole lot of ways to, like, consume cards for victory points. It's a very odd little setup that I've got going on this turn. It'd be really nice if we can get some extra military power, because New Galactic Order would give them... yeah, you know what? I'm going to take this Explore action. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to get to look at, I guess, 5 cards and keep 2. That's not bad. This will give me a penalty. Oh, there's a level 6 development. I won't be able to put it down this turn. I wonder if the game will give us the next turn. We've got 2 of these available. Development trade power. And this one's worth more right now. Oh, and it's worth military. So let's see if we can't get this one to go. So I'm going to get rid of you. And you. We're not going to be able to do this turn regardless. I don't want an extra card when any goods. But at least we'll be able to do this for free later on. I don't think we have anything that... does it trigger for Windfall Planets? It does, actually. We get a victory... well, we get a victory point for either one of these, so it's kind of moot. I'll do this, because I could always play this one for free if the right thing comes up. Oh! Hold on. This is a... shit, this is an alien world. Hang on. I misread. I thought that was a development. I saw the 6 and assumed it was a development. We're not going to be able to do 6 points of military. I'm going to trash you. And you. And you. We'll keep the Trade League around. I guess... do I want to put down Refugee World? It's kind of break-even in terms of points. It would give me a good right away. Because it's break-even in terms of points because it's the -1 military, but it's worth a victory point by itself. Make it harder to place military worlds, but it does give me some good that may give me some options. Not really, though. I think I'm going to keep it in hand so that I can have a better chance of playing Trade League. Which, oh my god, yes, I know there's a live stream. I intentionally turned off, I went into airplane mode with my phone, I'm on Do Not Disturb, I got everything going, and still my phone finds a way to spam me with an alert. That is very handy, thank you so much. Okay, well, we can't do anything without any cards. 2 more cards in our play, and the game would end, or if someone picks up a bunch of victory cards. I think we're going to go and take this explore action, because it'll let me keep 1 extra card going on. There's going to be a development phase, which means I'll draw a card there too, which is pretty handy-dandy. In fact, 3, 4, I still won't be able to play Trade League. Alright, we're going to get rid of this Alien World. There's a lot of things that can discount Alien Worlds, though. But I don't really have it. We could keep that around for the military point as well. This gives me -1 military, but oh, you can place military worlds as non-military. No, I don't think we need that. I'm going to get rid of this alien planet. Nice thing is, on our development, we'll be able to play one of these guys for free. Although we can't... Oh, I should have trashed Interstellar Bank. Can't have 2 copies of the same thing here. Oh, I can play the Trade League? Oh, I do, because the extra... Really? Right, because it'll cost me 4 to play these. Okay, that's what we want to do then. Trade League, go. It's going to be a 4-point turn. 2 for itself, but it has... it's going to buff my other development card. And who knows, maybe I can improve. 29 points. These guys are both at 27, though, and are about to make a few more points, too. I don't have a planet anymore. Ooh, Rebel Underground. That's worth some points. 31. I'm at 33. Another turn. I guess, I mean, I have to get some cards, right? Do I just want to do this? Actually, maybe this would be better. I'd actually get to look at 9 total cards at this, but there's a very good chance, at that point, I'll know what round it is. Maybe I can pick up a 0-cost planet or development that costs 2 or less, which would mean I could put it into play. That might be the best way to go. So we're going to have a development phase. We're not going to have a planet phase. So I'm looking for a development that costs 2 or less, because I'll get -2 from my Galactic Federation. I didn't play the development phase, so I don't get the 3-point discount. But that's okay. You go away, you go away, you go away, you go away. Oh yeah, I only get to keep 1, so I guess we're going to keep mining robots. Just for the 1 victory point. Well, it's actually going to be worth 2 victory points. I could keep new economy, but if the turn ends this phase, then bad things will happen. So yeah, I'll just keep mining robots, because I can play it. And it'll give me 2 victory points. It will end the game. So am I comfortable ending the game this turn? Well, almost... You know what? I can play the terraforming robots. Because I got the free draw. That's true. I forgot about that. I could have kept something worth a little bit more. Terraforming robots is worth 3. So I got the free draw, so I can discard this, and it's got the -2. Got 2 victory points. I mean, may as well, right? Boop. Trash. Okay. So the game will end this turn. Do we have the victory points to win? This is against the easy AI. But it is also a really weird setup that I went by so heavy development. So we got our points here. Boom. 36 points. A winner, but it was damn close. It was uncomfortably close. So there you go. There's a quick little look at Race for the Galaxy. Again, I assume it's available on all the mobile platforms. I don't really know. It is also available as a physical, real-life card game. It is a 4-player limit game. You can play 2 to 4 players. You can play online. Again, I was in airplane mode here because I was hoping not to get disturbed on my phone, but your mileage may vary. There's a little tutorial when you start the game you can use. It's a 3-phase tutorial, goes through really fast. There are built-in rules over here. Of course, you can also download the official, like, sort of PDF rules online for the actual game, but there you have it. Race for the Galaxy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.